Good evening.
Buddy Cop.
Welcome to the English News. I'm Charlie Crowson.
And I'm Chris Sillett.
How have you been doing today? Good day?
Good day. Good day. I must say it's a good day today.
It's a good
day. I like Wednesdays.
Wednesdays are particularly nice. I believe next Wednesday is going to be a school holiday, so I think there'll be a lot of happy teachers out there.
Should be. We all love a day off, don't we?
Is it Students' Day? Teachers' Day?
I think it's Teachers' Day. Pretty sure teachers should get a little bit more respect than they do.
Indeed. Indeed they should. Okay, we'll get started with the first piece of news today. 10 districts in Surin province have been declared as drought areas. Over 100,000 rise of agricultural area have been damaged. Meanwhile, the Kong River is totally dry in Amnat Churun. People can cross the river on foot. Mr. Nirun Kunlayamnamit, Surin's governor, said the province has announced 10 districts as disaster areas because of the drought. Over 62,000 households in 90,000 rai have been affected by the drought. The government is sending out water supply and support to help residents in the area. The province has been planning for an artificial rain program. In Amnat Churun province, Mr. Wirawat Chunwarin, Manat Churun governor, said the province will be announcing 7 districts as drought areas after the Kong River has totally run dry. However, Amnat Churun municipality and police officers are watching narcotics trafficking across the river. As the Kong River has no water, crossing the Thai-Lao border is easier, and drug smugglers might transfer narcotics by foot into the country. Now, I know it has been dry in Korat recently. I don't think we've seen any rain for possibly 2-3 months.
At least 2 months, I believe, there's been no rain in Korat.
And I'm enjoying it, to be honest.
I do too. I never like riding my motorbike in the rain, and
yeah.
You have those soggy feet. But you do feel sorry for all those people in the Surin province if they don't even have water to take a shower or wash their clothes. That's no joke.
That is no good. No, absolutely. But I think we need to make the most of the dry period, and for once I don't have to leave any clothes at school and leave clothes in bags, leave clothes in your bike, driving around with an umbrella and all that jazz. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's interesting to know that the river is actually completely dry at this point. I wonder if any of the dam building that's been going on in Cambodia and China have contributed to these, making matters worse. I mean, we already have a drought, and then they're cutting off water coming down the Kong River. Might be something to look into.
Indeed. Well, what have you got up next?
Up next, we have a story about cold weather in the province of Lampang. The temperature was recorded at 10 degrees Celsius. In fact, Surin has found pneumonia cases in over 283 different persons. Many areas in Lampang province are still very cold. The temperature this morning was below 10 degrees Celsius on the tops of the mountains. Governmental sectors are distributing blankets and winter clothes to residents in 13 districts of the Lampang province. Lampang's Office of Disaster Prevention is also watching for wildfires, which are usually occur during this season. Meanwhile, used winter clothes are selling quite well in the local markets. Dr. Tongchai Tiribunwanit, the medical director of Surin Hospital, spoke about the unseasonably cold conditions in the province. Residents of the province are having to deal with lung and nasal infections, especially children and the elderly. Over 15,000 patients have been visiting the hospital each day. A recently released report states that during October and December of 2012, 283 people had contracted pneumonia, 7 had contracted measles, 25 chicken pox, and 28 have contracted hand, mouth, and foot disease. And a very staggering number of 222 patients have been diagnosed with dengue fever.
What province was that again?
Lampang.
Lampang, so it is up north.
It is up north, and it has been very cold up there.
Yeah, dengue fever. I know that last year there was there were a few people in Korat who had an outbreak of dengue, and also foot and mouth was quite big last year.
Yeah.
A lot of schools
When
were...
it does get very dry and very cold, that's when you see a lot more of these viruses come out. As you know, in England and the United States, right now is prime, we call it flu season. It's during the cold months is when people get sick. So it's best to drink a lot of orange juice, tea, and get plenty of sleep and keep yourself warm.
Yeah.
It's probably the best advice that you can give to anybody.
Now, you look like you're keeping yourself warmer today.
Why is that?
Got yourself a new jacket.
Oh, you like my new jacket,
I
do
do
you?
like your new jacket. Yeah, where'd you get it from?
It was quite a steal. I found it at Save One. I believe you can find anything you want in Save One.
I think so. It's sort of, it's like a bit of a bric-a-brac flea market, isn't it? It's literally got
flea market.
It's got everything.
It does everything. The only thing I haven't been able to find there is horses, sheep, and a wife.
I think you could probably find the latter if you looked hard enough. But horses, maybe there's a market if anyone. Maybe there's a market for that.
Pony rides for the kids, you know.
Pony rides, indeed.
That was always big when I was growing up, going to the flea market, just riding on that pony going in a circle.
Yeah, probably less interesting at Save One than on the beach or in the mountains.
Probably less interesting.
So coming up, we've got some stories. In the first half, we'll be telling you about the Royal Thai Air Force. We'll also have a story coming up on Luang Por Kun. And after the adverts, we'll be having a story about the police seizing stolen goods in shops, opium found in Lampang, and we'll have and finally, a story about our SWAT cats, who I went to see on Sunday, doing rather well. The assistant of the Royal Thai Air Force commander has handed essential goods to on-site officers and Border Patrol agents. The Air Chief Marshal Songtam Chokhana Pitak, assistant to the Royal Air Force commander, handed essential goods to on-site officers and Border Patrol agents. The ceremony was set up to encourage officers and agents across the northeast of Thailand, as well as the border. The assistant also gave a speech to officers and agents as he was worried about their missions being very dangerous. He thanked all officers and agents who devoted themselves to the project and to the country. The goods were to encourage them and support their work in the future.
That's nice to see.
They do a good job.
They do a good job. My only complaint is they're kind of loud. I happen to live in an area where they fly over quite frequently, and on Saturday mornings, I'm not too happy about it.
Well, we've got quite a month coming up, haven't we, with certain
my
soldiers
God,
coming
yes,
in.
I
think we'll be
tend to
getting
forget
some
about
sleepless
that,
nights.
and I like to kind of just stay at home when the Americans come to town.
You'll be getting some night flights. You'll be getting some early wake-up calls.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be a lot of distracted people in classrooms looking out of windows and cheering at anything that sort of makes a noise in the sky.
And I will probably have a very severe case of panda eyes by the end of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, I do live right underneath where they fly over.
Indeed.
So I might have to start looking for new accommodation, at least for the month when...
Try Chayapum.
Yeah, try Chayapum. It's kind of a trek. Our next story is a little bit different. Luang Por Kun, his health has been improving over the past couple of days. In fact, this morning he could ride his bike longer than previously, and doctors are optimistic that he should be able to return to his home temple sometime next week. Dr. Narong Apikulawanit, the director of Nakhon Ratchasima's Maharat Hospital, and his medical team have diagnosed Luang Por Kun's health today, saying that his health has become much better, that he no longer has a fever and there's still just a little bit of phlegm in his lungs. The doctors had him exercise a little bit as well today. Lumpakun was able to ride a bike much longer than before, for about 30 minutes. The press were only allowed to record his exercise in the front of his room. The doctors will determine later if he is healthy enough to be sent back to his home temple next week, and in case he is not, they will make that announcement when it is needed.
Excellent to see that he's recovered.
He is a fighter.
He's been in hospital since 29th of November, I think. So really good to see him out in just over a month.
I know he's a very respected man in Korat, and I know it makes people quite happy to see him up and moving around, and that his health is improving, and we hope that his health continues to improve and he is able to return to his duties in his temple.
It's nice to see him with a matching beanie as well.
I love those. I do love those.
Right, we'll be back right after these breaks.
คนหนึ่งคนจะสร้างอะไรได้เราท่านเคยได้ยินกันมาโดยตลอดนะครับเพียงแต่ว่าคุณทำหรือยังคืออโหสิเลี้ยงมันในสมองให้โตขึ้นแค่นี้นั่นเองปลุกพลังบวกในตัวคุณเปลี่ยนประเทศไทยเริ่มต้นที่ตัวคุณก่อน
พ่อเอาอีกหน่อยนะพ่อนะ
ฉีกขยำคลี่กระดาษเป็นหนึ่งในวิธีฟื้นฟูกล้ามเนื้อผู้ป่วยโรคอัมพฤกษ์ค่ะและยังมีอีกหลายวิธีง่ายๆเลยค่ะที่สามารถทำได้เองที่บ้านเตือนคุณปู่ให้ทำบ่อยๆนะคะ
ใกล้ชิดถึงบ้านช่วยให้ทุกคนดูแลตัวเองได้แนวคิดใหม่จากโรงพยาบาลส่งเสริมสุขภาพตำบล
Back. So, Chris.
Charlie.
Not only have you got yourself a new jacket, which is a bargain.
250 baht.
250 baht.
I love Save One.
Yeah. I just can't believe, I don't know if they'd have them in the larger man's size, but...
They do have them in
good.
gigantic.
Really?
I asked them. They have obscenely huge,
obscenely huge. Tent size.
Gargantuan, and yes.
Horse size. No, they don't do that yet.
They have circus tent size.
Really?
They do circus tent size,
Okay,
which I
good.
think should fit you.
Good.
You know, it might be a little bit snug.
Yeah, yeah.
You could probably make do.
I've had to steal my brother's.
Wow, you went all the way to England to steal a jacket.
Seriously, it would have been cheaper to buy one at Save One, but
it's true.
Cheers, Jay. That's nice. We'll move on to our next piece. Police raided a shop where stolen items from 3 houses in the area had been resold. Police arrested 2 offenders and seized a number of stolen goods. Investigating police officers from Songkhla province and Hat Yai police raided a house in Tambon Nam Noi, Ampere Hat Yai, where stolen goods were stored. After an inspection, the items were found to be from houses in Tambon Pawong, Ampere Muang, Songkhla province. Mr. Charun Nu Chu, aged 63, the victim, indicated the items were from his home. Police arrested the shop caretakers, Mr. Wirat Pakdi, aged 34, and Mrs. Sukanya Srimmuang, aged 25. The shop caretakers told police that they had bought the goods from Mr. Suntorn, or Do, for 500 baht each. Each item was soaking wet when it was being resold by Mr. Suntorn. Mr. Suntorn claimed the goods were stuck in his fishing net. Police found out later that previously Mr. Suntorn and another 3 people, who were also thieves, had pretended they were fishing using fishing nets, but were actually checking out the houses nearby. After police arrested them, they told police they resold the stolen goods at the shop. rather dodgy work, pretending that you're fishing and you end up with...
Why is it that you never seem to see any smart criminals on the news? It's because they don't get caught, I imagine.
They don't get caught.
Smart criminals don't get caught.
So what have you stolen in your life? What's the biggest thing you've stolen?
The biggest thing I've stolen in my life... I have no idea. I stole... I once stole some coins out of my mother's purse to go buy candy at the 7-Eleven. That was probably the worst thing that I ever stole.
I'm just waiting. Are they coming? Yep. I think they're coming up the stairs now.
The police?
Yeah, you've got minutes. So
I've
let's
got
get
minutes.
this.
Well, I was underage. I believe it's because I was like 6 at the time that
Okay.
I can't be tried now.
Oh, you might be safe.
What about you? What have you stolen other than the hearts of
Just
women?
a few hearts, yeah.
Just a few hearts of women.
Yeah.
You led that one in pretty well there, did you, Charlie? Looking to get that set up. I've stolen some hearts.
Yeah.
Well, moving on from the thieving of hearts to a bit more about crime in general. In the Lampang district of Ban Mae Tay, the headmen have inspected and destroyed a number of opium fields. Mr. Santi Norumit, Jehom district headman, and his officers destroyed opium plants in the areas of Ban Mae Ta, Samaki Forestry Conservation Site in Ampa Jehom. Villagers had been secretly raising opium plants in a field covering an area about 800 square meters in size. Moreover, about 3 kilometers away from the first opium field, another field was found. This field was 1,200 square meters of wild opium raised by villagers. As of now, Jehom administration officers are helping villagers to find different ways of earning an income through agricultural and occupational means. However, the officers said all opium plants would be destroyed and the offenders would be brought to justice.
So a recurring theme that we get most nights, more opium, more drugs, and it seems to be a very common theme.
It is a common theme, and it's I don't know what you do about it, really. It's been a problem for a long time, and the best thing to do is to address, I think, the people that use it, rather than the people that are farming it. They might not have any other option on how to make money, and they go with probably the easiest get-rich-quick scheme that you can do in Lampang province, which might be to grow opium.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I've always thought of it as a health problem. You have users and abusers, and they're the ones that's where you have to go. You have to get rid of the users and the abusers, and you'll see the problem start to diminish.
Indeed. Okay, our last story today is about the SWAT Cats, who I went to see on Saturday.
Cats.
I bought myself a shirt.
You did not. They didn't have them in your size, I heard.
I did. Well, I got the double XL.
The double XX,
which is
XXL?
a US straight European XL, and chafes a little. You know, if I was a footballer, I'd probably have to use some Vaseline or something like that. But it is a good shirt.
Too much detail.
It's a very good shirt.
Viewers don't want to know that.
And it's orange, so it follows suit on my supporting of Wolverhampton Wanderers and the Dutch national team.
Oh, that's right. You have several loyalties, and you are not one of those what we call fair weather fans, are you?
No.
I've known you for a long time, Charlie. You've loved your Wolverhampton Wolves for quite a long time. I have no idea why, but good on you for always supporting the people that you support. And
Indeed.
I'm sure the SWAT Cats are very happy to have
well, if there's any Welshies
notable
out
news
there,
anchor like yourself.
Dean Saunders will be
behind
coming
them.
in to take over the reins at Wolves, so we'll see how that
Really,
goes.
Dean Saunders, really?
But our last
best
piece,
hope.
we'll tell you a little bit about the SWAT Cats coming up now. So the Korat SWAT Cats have been training harder each day. The head coach has advised that the team is about 80% ready for the new season, and team players still need some improvement. Nakhon Ratchasima Football Club, or the SWAT Cats, have been training much harder recently. The training is taking place at Nakhon Ratchasima Sports Complex. All the team players are training together in the evenings. However, the team advisor admitted the team is only 80% ready. Team players still need some improvements. The team head coach, Ajahn Athan, will point out the strengths and weaknesses of each player while they are training today. Everyone should perform well before the next season starts in March. Anyway, the team will have a warm-up game with Chayapoom on January the 13th this year at Nakhon Ratchasima Sports Complex. The game starts at 3 p.m. So if you have time to go down and support them, it's a good day out. 100 baht, I think, and there's snacks and drinks available on the door. But I would recommend getting there perhaps 10-15 minutes early, because they do find it difficult to get people in if it's busy.
And don't forget to wear your orange.
Don't forget to wear your orange.
Funny, I've never seen an orange SWAT cat, though.
No. Well, that's all we've got time for today. I've been Charlie Crowson.
And I'm still Chris Sillett.
You stay classy. Good evening.
Cup.